Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Alice, for allowing me to take the chapel service this morning. It's good to be here with all of you. And I'm going to talk to you about friends. I want you to think about your friends. Where did you meet them? Did you meet them at home? Did you meet them at school? Did you meet them through the family? Did you meet your friends through other friends? Did you meet them through places you went to, courses you went on? Think about your friends. I think we have different friends. Some friends make us laugh. Some friends are those that we'll have a serious conversation with. You may have a particular friend that you ask to go shopping with you because you know that she's going to be really honest about how something looks on you. There may be other friends that you go and exercise with. There may be circumstantial friends, people that you've been thrown together with for a period in your life. You may have friends that have been lifelong friends. You may have other friends that are friends for a season, and that's okay. They were in your life, they impacted your life, and now you've moved on into a new context, but you're grateful for that relationship. You may have some friends that you share your dreams with. You may have some friends that you share your secrets with. And sometimes when we do this, they help us grow, and other times we wish we hadn't shared it with them because they let us down. They go and tell somebody what you shared with them quite carefully and maybe confidentially. So, have you ever wondered if God has friends? We know that we're promised in His Word that we can be His children. And I'm going to just read 2 verses for you on that. John 1 says, "To those who believed in His name, He gave the right to become children of God." So if we believe in His name, He gives us the right to be His children. And in Romans 8, Paul writes, "The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we're children of God." So do you know that you have the right to be a child of God? He gives us all that right. He doesn't have any favorites that can be children or not. But what about friendship? In Romans 5 verse 11 it says, "I can boast in our wonderful new relationship with God. Our Lord Jesus Christ has made us friends of God." Have you ever thought of what that means to be a friend of God? Well, I was really excited when Reverend Alice said that she was doing a little series on a Monday morning in the Psalms, because it's one of the things that lockdown has brought to life for me, the Psalms. If you want to know what God's character is like, read the Psalms. It tells you all about Him, how He's compassionate, how He's forgiving, how He's slow to get angry. Many, many, many things. I'd always read the Psalms and thought that it said, "Oh, woe is me and I'm in a bad place," etc. But actually it tells us all about God. And so Psalm 145 is a psalm that I've really got to love this lockdown. But that's not going to be the psalm I'm going to talk to you about. The psalm I want to talk to you about today is Psalm 25. And I'm going to start with the verse that talks about what God does with His friends. So Psalm 25 verse 14 says, "God friendship is for God worshippers. They are the ones He confides in." So He tells us that He's friends with those who worship Him, and they are the ones that He confides in. Let's think about the word confide. If you confide in someone, they are your confidant. And a confidant means simply that, a person whom one shares a secret or a private matter with, trusting them. So imagine if God shares His secrets with you and with me, because His word says He does that. The Lord confides in those who fear Him, another version says. I wonder if you have ever known the Lord confiding in you. I'm not going to go into a teaching now on how we hear God or where we see God. But all I know is that I would love Him to be confiding his secrets in me. God friendship is for God worshippers. You may be thinking, oh, I'm not good enough for that. I'm sure the only people he confides in are people like Reverend Alice or other reverends. And Psalm 25 actually says that too. If you look at in verse 7 in Psalm 25, it says, oh, don't remember the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways, but remember me according to your love. So we know we've done wrong, and we say, please don't remember us that way. Another verse says in verse 11 in Psalm 25, forgive me my bad life. It's been a very bad life. And I think all of us have got some dark shadows in our lives, parts of our lives that we're not proud of. And we think, oh, if God thinks about those, he'll never confide in me. So we ask him, please don't remember those parts. Verse 16 of Psalm 25 says, look at me and help me. I'm all alone and I'm in big trouble. And that may be you. You may be feeling all alone and in big trouble. And you know what? You can take that to God and tell him exactly how you feel. You don't need any fancy language, any Bible verses. You can just tell him that. I love verse 4 of Psalm 25. It says, show me how you work, God. School me in your ways. Take me by the hand and lead me down the path of truth. So we can ask him to take us and teach us and lead us the right way. We can ask him to make us a better friend to him and perhaps a better friend to others. Verse 20 in the same psalm says, keep watch over me and keep me out of trouble. It's almost like we know if we're left to our own devices, we're going to get back into trouble. But if we hand ourselves over to you, and you keep watch over us, God, you will keep us out of trouble. And I know I'm jumping around in the psalm a lot, but I also love verse 2, which says, in the Message version, I've thrown in my lot with you. You won't embarrass me, will you? In other words, if I share my secrets with you, you're not going to be one of those people that let me down and embarrass me and tell someone what my big dream is. And so members and staff, I pray that you are faithful and obedient to God himself, and that he will confide in you and make you part of his friendship group. And I pray that for myself as well. What a group that would be to belong to. And now I am going to play Israel Houghton's song, Friend of God. You don't need to know it. If you do, you're welcome to mull through it. But just listen to the words. Friend of God. And I pray that your day today is completely blessed. Thank you.